here in the audience. You have item 1, SB 933. Please join us.
I have to run over and present J-Mac, and I'll be back.
You're next.
Okay.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Chair Liu and senators. I want to thank the chair, and I also want to thank the committee staff a great deal for their work on this legislation, and I am happy to accept the committee's amendments. This is SB 933, which is a bill that seeks to address, at least in part, one aspect of the teacher shortage by providing funding to local educational agencies to expand or create teacher residency programs. And I want to give kind of special thanks to Linda Darling-Hammond, her colleagues at the Learning Policy Institute, and of course Steve Barr from The Future Is Now for all of their work in helping to craft this legislation. We all sat together and learned about the teacher shortage and talked about the great problem that we now have as a state. One of the interesting things that may have missed some people's attention is our low retention rate and the fact that the role that the retention rate plays with regards to our teacher shortage. It turns out that 67%, 2/3 of those teachers who leave the workforce every year leave for reasons other than retirement. Now, we know that high-quality residency programs can address retention of teachers, and we've seen similar programs in urban districts like Cincinnati and Toledo, Rochester, New York. These residency programs in these cities were found to reduce beginning teachers' attrition rates by more than 2/3 by providing expert mentors with release time to coach beginners in their first year on the job. So we've got a wonderful lineup of folks who want to speak about the bill. Jonathan Osler, Executive Director of San Francisco Teacher Residency, Steve Barr. We've got folks from California Federation of Teachers. And I just also, as I mentioned, I'm pleased to take the committee's amendment. So I'm happy to turn over to Jonathan now.
Thank you. Welcome.
Good morning. My name is Jonathan Osler. I'm the director of SFTR, which is the San Francisco Teacher Residency. Since 2010, SFTR has run a teacher residency in partnership with the San Francisco Unified School District, Stanford, the University of San Francisco, and our local teachers union. And I'm here to express my strong support for this bill and the establishment of the California Teacher Corps. Most credentialing programs in our state require only 425 student teaching hours, and internship programs, in my opinion, give inexperienced and non-credentialed people the keys to our classrooms. Consequently, many of the teachers they produce are not prepared to implement district-specific initiatives, and 50% have been shown to quit within their first 5 years. This has devastating consequences for our students in schools. In contrast, the San Francisco Teacher Residency places aspiring teachers in high-need schools in San Francisco where they complete 1,700 hours of co-teaching over the course of a full school year, simultaneously earning a teaching credential and a master's degree. In exchange for financial incentives and intensive coaching, our residents commit to teaching in the same high-need schools for at least 3 years where they served as residents. 100% of the graduates from our first cohort, who are now in their 5th year, are still teaching, 90% of whom work in San Francisco Unified still. 96% of our graduates are teaching in high-need schools and subject areas. And for example, all of our current math and science teachers are women and/or people of color, groups traditionally underrepresented in those fields. And while enrollment in teacher preparation programs has declined precipitously over the past 10 years, our applicant pool has doubled since 2014. A quick example from our program illustrates what is so powerful about teacher residency programs. In 2010, Perla Rivas was deciding what to do with her undergraduate chemistry degree. Enticed by a variety of incentives and opportunities, Perla joined SFTR. 4 years later, she is now serving as a mentor teacher for a new SFTR resident, an amazing young teacher named Wisdom. Perla and Wisdom have a powerful partnership, one that affords them both the opportunity to learn and grow, and they will continue collaborating long into the future. By supporting this bill, I believe that you have an amazing opportunity to create the conditions where others like Perla and Wisdom can say yes to becoming teachers, to say yes to working in and persisting in high-need schools. Thank you.
Thank you. Others in support?
Debbie Look on behalf of State Superintendent of Public Instruction Tom Torlakson in support. The superintendent believes that addressing the teacher shortage is one of the most critical education issues before the legislature. We must develop the means to attract and retain a diverse pool of high-ability educators for all students, particularly in high-needs fields and high-needs schools. Responding to the teacher shortage will require a multi-pronged approach with the involvement of both state and local agencies. SB 933 would provide funding to create or expand teacher residency programs. As was noted in the Superintendent's Task Force on Educator Excellence report, Greatness by Design, residency programs create a pipeline of committed teachers who are well prepared to teach in a particular community. In addition to relevant coursework, prospective educators receive intensely supervised clinical preparation under the wing of experts who know how to do the work well. Encouraging professional development school networks and residency programs for high-needs communities will strengthen preparation for practice, just as the creation of teaching hospitals transformed medical education. On behalf of the State Superintendent, I urge your support of SB 933.
Thank you. Others in support?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the committee. I'm Ron Rapp, speaking on behalf of the California Federation of Teachers. The CFT supports Senate Bill 933, which establishes the California Teacher Corp Act of 2016. Senate Bill 933 addresses a demand for trained and credentialed teachers by providing local school districts the funds they need to recruit, train, mentor, and retain teachers through teacher residency programs. SB 933 will ensure a new generation of teachers will be trained for success and establish a pipeline for those teachers to serve in high-need districts where the teacher shortage is most severe. As you well know, California is ranked last in student-to-teacher ratios of the 50 states at 24-1. The state would need over 135,000 additional teachers to decrease the student-to-teacher ratio to the national average of 16-1. At the same time, several other factors have exacerbated the teacher shortage, including the retirement of a large number of teachers, particularly baby boomers, a decade of teacher layoffs, and a 76% decline in enrollment for teacher credentialing programs from 2002 to 2014. A recent study by the Learning Policy Institute found that programs which allow novice teachers to teach in classrooms under the direction of a mentor teacher are linked to successful teachers who stay in the profession. SB 933 will provide local school districts funding to create or expand teacher residency programs. Residents will apprentice alongside a mentor in a classroom serving low-income students for a full academic year while studying coursework from a partnering university and earning a stipend. In exchange, they will be required to commit to teach in the district for 4 years beyond their residency. Research indicates underprepared teachers are more likely to leave the profession in the first 5 years, experiencing frustration and a lack of job satisfaction. Studies show teachers in residency programs are 50% more likely to stay in the profession. Teacher training and mentorship is particularly crucial to retaining high-quality teachers in the profession, and it is for these reasons that we respectfully request your aye vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Others in support?
Yes, Isabel Garcia with the California Teachers Association. We don't have a formal position, but we are recommending a strong support at our April State Council of Education because we think this is a very important option to the profession. It offers an accelerated, integrated preparation, early career support experience for candidates ready for the challenge. But more importantly, residencies require authentic collaborative partnerships that benefit our students. For those reasons, we thank the author for bringing forth the bill.
Thank you very much. Others in support?
Hi, my name is Steve Barr. I'm founder of Green Dot Public Schools and founder of Futures Now Schools. And this is one of those great pieces of legislation where you have folks from my brothers and sisters from the California Teachers Association and reformers and people who usually don't talk to each other and yell at each other, and you guys hear a lot of that, come together on this very common sense idea that this generation's teachers will train the next generation of teachers. So we're in strongly support of SB 933, and thank you, Senator Allen.
Thank you. Others in support of the bill?
Yes, Madam Chair, members, this is Mira Morton here on behalf of the California Chamber of Commerce. So we see this as a critical measure to help meet future workforce needs, and we're pleased to support it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Samantha Corbin on behalf of Common Sense Media in support of the measure. We see this as a critical component to addressing the teacher shortage, in addition to ensuring that all children across the state have access to a quality education and a highly trained teacher. Thank you.
Thank you.
Enrique Roacho with the Los Angeles Unified School District, also in support of the bill for many of the reasons already stated. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sarah Lillis with Ed Voice, also in support of SB 933 for many of the reasons already stated. Thanks.
Thank you.
Ray Burnell with the California Catholic Conference, and we're in strong support of this innovative bill, which will actually magnetize the teaching force, attracting, holding on to, and empowering our teachers. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any others in support? Is there anyone opposed to the bill? The committee received no opposition. Are there any comments or questions from members? Pretty quiet. Oh, Senator Huff.
Senator Allen.
Nothing to do with guns.
Well, that we know of. No, in looking at the bill and hearing what you're advocating, there's a profound need to both attract and retain qualified teachers. You're addressing one of my concerns already with author's amendments. My other concern in here, I'm not an attorney, but it seems like on page 4, line 25, well, actually 26, this program would, quote, seeks out academically able individuals who expand the racial, ethnic, gender, and linguistic diversity of the teaching force, blah, blah, blah. How does that not fly in the face of Prop 209, where we're not supposed to make decisions based upon all those issues?
Well, the language of the bill is very flexible, so we don't create any mandates or rules or regulations relating to the choosing of the teachers themselves. I think the thought is, if you may recall from our hearing on the teacher shortage, there is extraordinary diversity in the new teachers who are coming into the system, and the problem is we're losing so many of them, partly because they're underprepared and they end up not being ready to stay, and they feel as though they don't have the support structures they need, and they end up leaving. So I think that line relates to that kind of broader diversity goal that we know exists with regards to those who are now coming into the profession. But there's nothing prescriptive in the bill that requires quotas or any kind of preference.
Well, words have meaning, and those particularly raise an antenna for me. Without those words, I would be happy to support your bill.
So tell me exactly what, I don't have my, I've got the bill, but it's not in the same form that you have it. So does someone have the?
I can hand it to you right here.
So we can, okay. All right.
I don't think it takes away from what you're trying to do, because you're right. It's suggesting something, I think, and again, I'm not an attorney, but it seems like that gives an angle for people to be looking for you making those kinds of hiring or decisions on who you're attracting, and you could have a legal challenge because of that. So I don't think it loses anything by taking it out. As you say, we have a very diverse applicant pool. Our need is much beyond just that pool, but I think organically you'll achieve what you're looking for in this program without being so specific on that.
There is no. Oh.
Yeah, I don't think that. I mean, I think this is a sort of an aspirational line. I mean, if you.
Senator, let me just suggest, why don't the two of you, if you don't object, this is going to appropriations. It can be amended there.
I would be happy to accommodate that and support it today if you would agree to, pull at that point.
Absolutely, Senator.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I wouldn't even mind being added as a co-author in that.
I appreciate that. I'd appreciate that. Thank you, Senator.
Well, all this kumbaya, I can hardly stand it. All right. Any other comments or questions from members? Okay. Is there a motion on that? This is part of a package that Senator Allen and Senator Pavley and I have to try to recruit teachers and to sustain them in the system. It's been a kind of a roller coaster to maintain a consistent workforce, and I appreciate the effort here. But I just was curious, as the San Francisco Teacher Residency Program, how much does it cost, and is it being paid for by the school district?
Well, there's no cost to be a part of the San Francisco teacher residency. Our program is free. The residents pay tuition to one of the 2 universities, but the universities do grant 50% tuition remission and or 50% loan forgiveness as one of the financial incentives for people to choose this path and make a commitment to teach in San Francisco Unified as opposed to pursuing other options.
Oh, that's interesting. It's a good relationship. Okay, all right. So it's creative and up to individual districts to seek out partners to, maintain the cost. All right, with that, was there a motion? Yes. Okay, the motion, Senator Block. All right, let's call the roll.
Okay, so item 1, Measure SB 933. The motion is do pass as amended to appropriations. Blue.
Aye.
Blue, aye. Block. Aye. Block, aye. Hancock.
Aye.
Hancock, aye. Huff. Aye. Huff, aye. Leyva. Aye. Leyva, aye. Mendoza. Monning. Aye. Monning, aye. Pan. Aye. Pan, aye. Vidak.
Aye.
Vidak, aye.
8-0, the bill is out, but we'll keep the roll open for our absent member.
Thank you,
Thank you very much.